made this hat completely from scratch over the 2 days, and that Saturday I was going to quite a smart wedding, and I was living in Chiswick at the time, and the wedding was in Marylebone, so the taxi ride's about 40 minutes, I guess. And I got in, and it wasn't connected to a hairband or anything, and I got in the taxi, and I was like, right, you're gonna have to count me down, and I forgot to take my scissors, and so I was there with my needle and my thread, and like I'm gnawing bits of thread off because I didn't have my scissors, which even now this hat still has gnawed bits of thread on it.
Love it.
And he was like, you've got 3 minutes, you've got 2 minutes.
Oh, I love it.
This amazing black cab driver, and then we turn around the corner, and I put my hat on, and I walked into the church, and someone said, oh my God, I love your hat. And I was like,
I did it.
My friend and I set up this business together, which was aiming to have hats that were a bit more affordable.
Yeah.
So hats that our friends could afford to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of started out and we were like, right, we had a little website, I made it all myself and everything, had our collection, and I was like, right, free delivery for the first, I don't know, it was a week or something of business. My first ever order was shipping to Singapore. I was like, how does someone in Singapore know about my business?
Oh, God.
Shot myself in the foot with that one.
No. So your brother is Ollie Locke from Made in Chelsea.
Yep.
So how was that growing up with when he went on Made in Chelsea? How was that for you guys? Welcome to Wedding Mayhem.
Is this a game show?
We're going to change it up a bit.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You can introduce our guest.
You do it.
You
You do it. You're in the hot seat.
I'm in the hot seat. Welcome, Amelia.
Hello.
Hello. From
Exciting.
Feathers and Bloom.
Feather and Bloom, yeah.
Feather and Bloom.
Feather and Bloom.
Feather
You're not
Every
adding an S
time.
on the end. Things.
Well, there's more than one feather.
It is feathers plural. Well, the word is feather, but yeah, there are many feathers.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you
So
so much for having me. I'm so
excited.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
So you are a hat lady.
I am a milliner.
Milliner.
Not
That's
a
the word.
millionaire. People get confused.
Aim high.
That's
High.
right. Yeah, people get confused because milliner isn't a profession that many people
Well, it's
have
an
these
old-fashioned name, isn't it?
Yeah.
We
Do you know,
had
if
it.
someone said that to me, I actually would
You
have
did
no
ask.
idea what
when,
it was.
When did you ask that? So when we
I
had
don't
our
know.
dressmaker on,
Yeah.
and we were talking about milliners and stuff like that, and she was like, what's that? Because it does sound
Yeah,
like
I
you're
literally
milling.
would have no
Yeah.
idea.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not making bread.
No.
Not milling.
Is there another name for the
Well, this is the problem. So I say to people, they say, what do you do for a living? And I say, I'm a milliner.
Yeah.
And they
Because
either
they think you bake
hear-
bread.
They either hear millionaire or they get really confused because they've never heard of the term. And so I say, I make hats. And then someone once said to me, well, I thought you had dogs. And I was like, what are you talking about? They thought I said cat mater. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, oh my God, what's worse? Like, people mishearing me and thinking I'm a millionaire and just like bragging about it.
You're mating
or
cats.
that I'm mating cats. So yeah, you know.
Did you not say cat breeder? Anyway.
I'm now
She's
really
a cat.
specific.
because there are. I'm going to get told off in a minute, but I've got a neighbour that takes her dog to mate.
Oh, a stud dog.
That's it,
Ooh.
and they have to. I don't know what I can say, but they literally have to stick his thing in her thing.
Oh my God.
So they go. So you can be.
Yeah, now I go, I
What a
make
day.
hats.
What? How's your taping? Yeah.
I tap my head now and I'm like, hats.
Hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Certainly
no.
not a millionaire.
Or a cat maker.
Or a
Actually,
mater.
mater.
Yeah.
Oh, maker.
So, milliner.
Milliner.
Milliner's the term, yeah.
Perfect. And have you always made hats?
No. So I've been doing it about 10 years.
What were you doing before?
So I went to the London College of Fashion. So I did a art foundation there, and then I did fashion promotion degree.
Was that something that you always wanted to do, or did you go into it not knowing where you wanted to go?
So I've always made things, but I've never really seen the point. You know, obviously a lot of people were into crafting and things like that, but I've never really got the point of making things that don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
Because then you're just making
like me making cakes.
Yeah, well, you eat them.
Yeah, exactly.
That
It like,
helps.
has a perfect.
Yeah.
No, they just don't look good. They taste good.
Yeah.
They just-
But I mean, you could be making things and giving them as gifts or something. But yeah, I just always wanted to make something that had a purpose.
Yeah.
And art and things like that. And then
Were you good at art?
yeah.
Like the pen and pencil?
Yeah, so, I'm quite good
With
at
the pens.
I love a bit of life drawing.
Oh,
Well, then-
I done that on a hen do.
What,
It
the
was
naked?
brilliant.
Really, really.
He was the
fun.
proudest
I
man
love
with the
that.
smallest penis.
God.
It was really small.
It was
brilliant.
brilliant. Let's talk more about this.
Yeah, life drawing's great. It's just
Have you done more than one? Or?
yeah, I've done loads of life drawing. So it's just like a really free kind of, bodies are soft and have lots of different curves and nooks and
Crannies.
crannies.
Fannies.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's going
You
down.
don't necessarily have to get all of it.
Or in-
You can be selective with your
Yeah.
Oh
pencil.
my god!
I
I think I would be really, really embarrassed.
What, to be
To do life
drawing or to
drawing?
be posing?
I wouldn't pose. Yeah, it depends how many glasses I've had. But
You've got to keep still. It's
and I
really hard.
can't do that.
Like some of the poses are like 20 minutes, and these people can't
No.
flinch. Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
no! I would never be. I can't keep still.
Can you imagine doing it though, and then you knew the person, or like if it's an ex-boyfriend or
Could you
something?
imagine that?
I always think this, when you get these hen dos that go for like, the weekend and that, and they
Yeah.
have somebody come in and do it.
Yeah.
What if that's an ex
Yeah.
or one of theirs? That would be really, and they didn't realise that was.
stripper walks into the hen do like, yeah.
Oh, I
That's
remember
my
on the.
ex-boyfriend.
Do you prefer did you prefer doing men or women, or which is
Uh,
more interesting?
Women are
more
obviously
curves.
curvier, yeah.
Yeah.
Men are quite boring, I guess. Whereas
Yeah.
women, yeah, it's a nice thing to do.
I've got a picture somewhere from when we was on this hen do and we were kind of all in a circle and the guy is facing me, like front on, and one of the girls who's got he's got their back to them has tried taking a picture because he had a beret on and he obviously had a bare bum, so they've tried taking a picture of his bum, but on the side is my face going like that and they've got a picture of it. So funny.
Are they always lying down?
No,
This
all
guy was
kinds of
moving
different
around
positions.
a lot.
Was he?
Yeah, it was. They're so confident.
What's his name?
I can't remember. You wouldn't want to. But they're so confident and just free. I'd love to. Not that I'd
The
love
confidence
to, but I
to
love
do
their.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I always just wondered what they do in their day jobs.
I mean, there are probably things like actors and models. And
Oh, I'm thinking
who
surgeons or
knows?
policemen.
Maybe.
Like, yeah, really restricted jobs, and then
Yeah.
they're like free.
Yeah. I don't know. You should get a life drawing model on.
Yeah, no, we should get people to like message in. Are you a life?
Are you a life drawing model?
What do you do during the day?
They must get paid quite well.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should go to one, Sharon.
we should.
But we
do it.
shouldn't look at each. No, we'd be the immature ones.
See for yourself.
No, we would because I'd look at you and just laugh. And
Have you had
see
any
your
funny
drawing.
experiences doing them?
No, it's all
Nothing-
just
nothing-
very
Professional.
professional. It's an art class, isn't it? And you just go and
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it'd be different for hen dos because there's
Very
drink
different.
So that
going
we were
on.
quite a grown-up
Yeah,
bunch, to be fair, but it was funny. We were giggling a little bit.
Giggling.
It'd be a really fun thing to do for a hen do.
It was really good.
Yeah, they go to Brighton. There's quite a few like houses that rent out like Airbnb
Yeah.
and stuff, and they make a whole weekend of it. So people come to the house and they do bring in afternoon tea and stuff like that.
I do fascinator workshops for hen dos. So
Do
that's
you?
quite-
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea for a hen
Oh, that's
do.
really good.
Yeah, and then
idea.
a lot of the people will then end up wearing the fascinators to the wedding.
That
so
is
that's
fantastic.
really
I make
Good.
sure they're good. They're not just.
So how many numbers can you have? Do they come to
Um,
you or do you go to them?
So I've had about probably 11 in my studio,
Right.
but it's quite small. But yeah, if I go to people, then there's no limit. I can always take assistance.
Is
and
there
things with me.
Prosecco?
Always.
Always the fizz.
And how much would that that cost?
So it depends on what kind of fascinators we're making, but
Is there initial cost to do it and then materials or
there's a cost per head.
per head?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it depends how far I'm travelling,
Right, okay.
who I'm taking with me.
Yeah.
The last one I did, there were some children as well, so I had to do some children's activities too. So yes, it's a really nice thing to do for a
I've
hen.
never heard of that
It's
before.
quite a nice thing to do if it's not a raucous kind of crazy hen. Like the last one I did was in a family home, and it was the grannies and the children and everyone in between.
Yeah.
And it was lovely.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a great idea.
So I run the workshops as well, not just for hen do. So people come to my studio about once a month and make fascinators.
Well, are they doing that just because they need to make one, or are they looking at doing their own business? Or?
Sometimes people just like to zone out for a
Hobby.
few hours and do something a bit different.
Yeah.
And are fascinated about how things are. Pardon the pun.
Fascinated about how
things are made, and they never leave with just a tiny little thing that's not wearable. Like they leave with the proper hat.
Yeah.
So it's just a really lovely thing to learn.
Oh, fantastic.
Because you're gonna wear one, you do it properly.
Do they come in wanting to make a little fascinator and go out with a big hat?
Yeah, quite often, and sometimes people will surprise themselves. So it's 3 hours, but some people will end up making 2 hats at a time. It depends what kind of thing they're making. So
I did a pottery course once.
Oh,
right.
I'd love to do that.
And I did. Yes, it was brilliant. It was brilliant, and it was run by the local authority, and they're all making little pots, and there's me with making the big planter. I'll get my money's worth, council tax and everything. Do you know that's? Listen,
your cauldron.
When I was living in Thames Ditton and Esher, next to Esher. It's an expensive area, so they were getting their monies out of me, so I was getting my money back. And so, but this pot, I made 2 of them in the end. I got banned. I wasn't allowed to come back anymore. Banned from Vinted.
Yeah, there's a thing going on.
Yeah, Mum's clapping me. High five, Sarah. I'm coming for tea, aren't I? Yeah. I will send you a picture. I coiled it and I literally wrapped it around. It was so bloody heavy.
Have you still got it?
Yes, one's broken, but I've still got the other. And we're talking. God, my son's 32
Is it like wonky?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is it like?
So it's 28 years old. So we still use it. Yeah.
That's value for money on the council
lives in it. It's that big.
I love doing it because it's messy. I like messy stuff, So anyway, not about me.
Love that.
Not about me, about you. So you're at university, finding your way.
I was at university. Yeah. Oh well, we were talking about that.
We were.
And then I went travelling. Took about 3 gap years. And went travelling and came back and started working at Not on the High Street. When they had just started.
On the High Street,
yeah. So there was probably I'd say 12 of us there at
the
time. And within a year, it had gone from tiny, group of people in one little office to we'd taken over the whole building.
So how did it start out? So not the High Street.
Yeah. So it was the 2 founders. One of them ran. Creative makers markets.
Yes.
And was, finding a theme that you have all these beautiful, lovely things that those makers don't have the money to have a shop.
They're not shopfront people.
The high street. So it was an online marketplace, essentially, for people that didn't have that presence on the high street. So it was
paved the way.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Got such good little gifts from there.
Yeah, I really got
really good when my friends had babies and stuff. I got really cool stuff.
Yeah. My auntie and my mum passed away. I'd got little token things put on necklaces and that with their birthdays on and everything. So it's lovely. So what were you in charge of doing?
So I was office manager and PA to the 2 directors.
You're bossy.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Are you really super organised?
No, not at all. No, to be honest, I wasn't very good at my job. But it was a lovely place to work.
Lovely people.
Great Friday night drinks.
Was it in London?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
It was in Barnes.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. And then I worked at Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the hotel company.
Yes.
Like boutique hotels.
Yeah.
So I worked there for a few years.
What were you doing there?
Oh, I was in
charge. I thought you said whore.
A whore? No, I can't say that.
I really had a problem with my hearing.
Did
you sound like that, didn't it? I was a whore.
I was one that answered all the complaints.
Oh.
So I'm now...
With any business, you're going to get complaints on it because it's people's expectations.
Yeah.
You know.
But I got very good at it.
Right.
And I mean, the complaints, because we didn't own the hotels, we were a third party.
Yeah.
So you'd have someone ringing saying, oh, on the website it said it wasn't going to rain and it's raining in January and what we're going to do.
my
And you're
God.
like,
You in London still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had someone that said, even though the window was open, the mirror in the bathroom still steamed up when I had a shower. Okay.
Some people really are unbelievable.
Yeah, like some of the stories. And so, yeah, you just had to be really sympathetic. I'm so sorry you're offended by the steam on the mirror. And try and make sure that you give them such a lovely experience that they can't fail but come back and book through you again.
Yeah.
So that was
You
my
hope
job.
that people go away and have a word for themselves.
You'd hope so.
But,
wouldn't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Or whoever they're telling about it is like, come on, Julie.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, John does that when he's looking for for us to stay or restaurants and that.
Yeah.
He loves reading the reviews.
Yeah.
And so he's laughing to himself and he go, look at this one, you know.
People
Like
are funny.
you took time to write that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're really, you're really serious about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the people that can actually find time to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to encourage people at the moment to leave Google reviews for me.
Yeah.
And like, even my best friends, like a couple of them, well, I've done hats for them, but a couple of them have said, please, could you leave me a review? And like, no one can quite find time to do it.
No, I know,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's all yes.
Yeah.
I always find it close family and friends do it.
Yeah,
you know.
it's a tricky one because I've made hats for like every female I know. I think I've probably made a hat for in the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, people can find time.
well,
to
no more hats
complain.
now until they leave a
Yeah.
review.
But I
Exactly.
find
You
like
need to say.
with reviews and that, yes, it is super helpful for people out there that don't know about you or they're choosing between
Yeah.
certain people. And we have it as well. But, you know, I think, like you said, people are not leaving, you know, taking the time and leaving those reviews. But it's the people that either haven't been to you, you know, we've had it, you know, we've had other suppliers do it, you know, and we know who they are, you know, so then it looks like, you know, you've got bad reviews. You know, we were talking to the lady from Talbot and she said exactly that.
Really?
You know, so review people, nice reviews.
Yeah, I think if people
Good
want to
constructive-
complain,
yeah.
they're straight on there.
Pick up the
But-
phone and talk to me.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like that is
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
But it's just finding the time to write good reviews. Like,
Yeah.
I guess everyone's busy, aren't they?
So you finished it.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
You finished it, Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, and then I'd been to a vintage shop, I think it was, and I found a little fascinator and I fell in love with it, and it had
You're like, I
Better-
love you.
yeah, but I was never into hats or anything.
Really?
I think I'd worn a fascinator to Ascot or something once.
What was it
something
that
like
you loved about it?
It had pheasant feathers and it had tweed, and it was just beautiful. But it was a couple of £100, and I thought, right, I can either buy this hat right now, or I can use the money and go and do a hat course. And so that was in the December. And
Was it like a little bit of a light bulb moment?
no,
going,
I just thought, why not? Like,
Yeah.
this money could just go on a hat and that will go in a cupboard and it will
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
forever. Or, you know, I could actually learn how to make that for myself.
Hmm.
And so I...
And when you did that, did you have the intention that you were, maybe this might be a career path?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And so it was New Year's Eve and I was like, right, this is it. My New Year's resolution is to do a hat course. And it took me till, I think it was either the June or the July, and I did a 2-day hat course and I absolutely loved it. And I suddenly thought, oh, this is what I've been trying to make all these
my
years.
God.
Like all these
Yeah.
times I've experimented making things and never had the
Yeah.
real satisfaction. And I made this hat completely from scratch over the 2 days. And that Saturday I was going to quite a smart wedding. And I was living in Chiswick at the time, and the wedding was in Marylebone, so the taxi ride's about 40 minutes, I guess. And I got in, and it wasn't connected to a hairband or anything, and I got in the taxi, and I was like, right, you're going to have to count me down. And I forgot to take my scissors, and so I was there with my needle and my thread, and like I'm gnawing bits of thread off because I didn't have my scissors, which even now this hat still has gnawed bits of thread on it.
Love it.
And he was like, you've got 3 minutes, you've got 2 minutes.
Oh, I love
It was
it.
an amazing black cab driver. And then we turn around the corner and I put my hat on and I walked into the church and someone said, oh my God, I love your hat. And I was like,
Yeah, you did it.
And
needed a
then,
clap.
I got all these compliments, and I was like, oh, I'm so clever.
What did people say when you were like, I made it?
They were saying like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Your first
you are
hat.
so clever. And I was like, I know. And that was
Look
it.
at
Yeah.
that.
And I've still got it. And actually, funnily enough, my bestseller at the moment is a very similar style to that hat. And that's 10 years later. And I look back at it now, and technically, it's got.
I think
loads
that's
of
with
faults,
any
you
any
pick it apart
supplier.
now. Yeah.
You know, people walk in. You know, they walk into our shop and go, "Oh my god, the shop's beautiful. Oh my god, our front window desperately needs to do it. I've got all the flowers to do it, but I've just not had the time to do it. You know, get the marathon out of the way and I'll get it done. But you know, and I look at it and people go, "Oh my god, wow," and I'm like, "That needs doing, that needs painting, that." You know, so we're super critical of our. Ourselves,
I think you do see things in a different way when you've got a trained eye. But so after that I then did an evening course, and then I eventually gave up my job and went full time and did a year intensive, very intensive, horrible, like it was amazing. It was a great experience.
I think when you start a business though, you have to throw everything in. Everything needs to be put in 100%, doesn't it?
So I did course.
Did you have children at this stage? Okay.
No. So did a year course, and then just at the end of the course bought our house in Hampshire. So literally finished the course.
I need a studio.
Moved out of London. And started working in my spare bedroom, and it was just me and the dog sat there. Like
the same dog that you.
Same dog I've got now, and we just kind of sat there and twiddled our thumbs for a little bit. But I was making couture hats, and so like you'll know, like couture is.
You only need 1 to 5 cheaper ones, don't you?
Yeah, so it was very exacting, like invisible stitches all the way along. It takes.
Are you naturally a sewer?
I love sewing. Hate sewing machines, but hand sewing I love. But it would take weeks and weeks and weeks to make these hats, and then you have to charge accordingly. And I got about a year in, and I thought, I don't really want to make hats that, you know, my friends would, I put it on Facebook, and my friends would say, "Oh my god, I love that hat. How much is it?" And you'd be like, £450, and then I just get really embarrassed about it. So
but
I was
hats are very expensive. Now, obviously, when I go to trade shows, you know, and what you're quoting is not that bad.
Yeah,
you know?
So that's the thing. So I then had my son, and I just thought, I don't have 2 weeks to make a hat. I need to make things that are quicker and that are less expensive.
Yeah.
And so I then started Feather and Bloom. So
Where did the name come from?
So I started the business with a friend of mine, and we spent many nights on the gin looking for a name. We had some shockers, and then
Like what? What was it nearly?
I can't even remember them now, but I've got a list somewhere with all the funny names in, but suddenly we sat down and actually started making the hats.
Right.
And we were using feathers and we were using flowers. And then we're like, oh, there you go, Feather and Bloom. It's
Fantastic.
not hard.
It's a very good name for a gin.
Feather and Bloom. Yeah. There is Bloom gin, I think.
Is there?
That type of gin, yeah.
Sharon's like, oh, gin.
I know.
Yeah. A little gin.
I said, I'm a week dry apart from what we had just a minute ago, and I'm desperate now. I was packing my bag for the marathon for picking up after the finish line, and I talked to all the other runners about what you're putting in your bags and that. And they went, "What are you putting in your bag?" And I went, "Well, I'm having 2 cans of Zinfandel. Zinfandel. I'm having a bag of Colin caterpillars.
Great.
Brownie.
You're going to need a cool bag for your Zinfandel. You don't want warm Zinfandel.
Oh,
That's
no.
not refreshing.
You don't care. You got that finishing line.
Zinfandel, isn't that a rosé?
It is a rosé, yeah. Very dry
No.
rosé, always lovely. So yes, it doesn't matter. It's alcoholic. It will numb the pain, and my slippers, and that's all I need. They went, "Oh, are you not having any energy drinks? Any like plasters? Any like protein?" I was like, "No, Colin Cat. I'm literally can in hand and Colin Caterpillar walking up the mile."
You will deserve it.
Can you run? Because I cannot.
She's done a marathon.
Have you?
I don't run, but I did for a period of about 6 months leading up to my accidental marathon.
Tell us about your accidental marathon.
So my husband ran the London Marathon, and he was then reapplying for the ballot for the following year, and I thought, I'll apply to look good. thinking that like no one gets
Nobody
an
gets
place.
him.
Like it's
No.
it's
So hard.
Is it really hard to get?
It is
into
hard.
marathon?
Yeah,
Like
really
people
hard.
apply for like 10 years in a row, like
Yeah.
proper professional runners, and I'm like, yeah, I'll put my name in the hat kind of thing. It'll never happen. I'll look good. My husband will think, oh yeah, okay, great. She's up for the running the marathon.
That's why I married her.
Yeah, turns out I got in first time. It's like, oh, for God's sake, now I'm going to run the bloody thing.
Oh no.
So I did.
Lost life.
Yeah, I know.
How did you get on?
So I something like 5 hours 47 minutes.
Fantastic.
Something
Really
like that.
It's really good.
And with all our training, I hadn't run more than 13 miles, and then on the day I managed to run 17 non-stop. And I think
very
17's a horrible mile.
It's a horrible mile. Yeah, 17 to 23 miles is horrible.
Yeah, and then I was a bit more like, I had some blisters and stuff, so I kind of walked a bit, ran a bit. But then in the end, I got my energy back and went for it. But yeah, I was proud of
Did
doing
your husband
it.
stay with you, or did you split up?
No, I had this talk on the stand actually because you get couples going, it's our first time together, and I went, you're not going to run together.
No.
I said, and I got a wife, and she said, what, not together? No, I'm going to do it together. And I went, I'm so, literally, your paces will be different. You'll be fine. You will not run on your own. I'll find you, and we'll all go together because you will never be on your own. And he's like behind her going, because he obviously wants to get his time, you know.
So were you left behind?
Yeah, I was left behind, and my best friend did it at the same time as well. And she was literally like, "See you later, bye." And they all get great times, and I was just happy for finishing it.
That's it. Yeah, people get messaging me going, "What's your time going to be? What's your time going to be?" And I went, "Alive."
Yeah, it's an achievement and it's an experience.
Exactly.
And then I never ran again.
I never ran again.
That was it. I've done my running for life.
So we've gone from your business to gin to running.
Yeah,
So what was your breakthrough moment?
Well, so my friend and I set up this business together, which was aiming to have hats that were a bit more affordable.
Yeah.
So hats that our friends could afford to buy.
Yeah.
We kind of started out and we were like, right, we had a little website, I made it all myself and everything, had our collection, and I was like, right, free delivery for the first, I don't know, it was a week or something of business. My first ever order was shipping to Singapore. I was like, how does someone in Singapore know about my business?
Oh,
so
God.
shot myself in the foot with that one.
No.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think just having people actually buying the hats, like you have all the skills and you have the designs and you have the hats, but actually having real people that want to spend their hard-earned money on something that you have made.
I remember the first dress I ever sold, and I was like, to the point where I nearly said, "Are you sure?" You know, and
I'll pay you to buy
Well, I
it.
was making I was at the time, I made all the tiaras that we had.
Yeah.
And all the crystals and stuff like that. So I was at home making all the tiaras for them. And then people going, "Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. I love it." And it's like, oh my God, I hope it lasts. You know all those things that go through your head, you know, and like, you sure, you know, you sure you're giving me all this money for that, you know.
It is an honour having someone buy something that you have made.
Yeah, and you're always very proud of it as well, you know.
But my first ever hat sale actually was when I was on my hat course. Phoenix
You sold it to the teacher.
Phoenix came and gave us a project, they selected, I think it was, I want to say 3, it might have been about 5 hats from the class that they sold in Phoenix, and they chose my hat. And so the first hat I ever sold was in Phoenix on Bond Street.
No way.
And I worked for a milliner every fashion week, a Scottish milliner called William Chambers, who's incredible. Yeah. And he was in there doing a designer day, and he saw the person buy my hat. He rang me, he was like, "Amelia, someone's bought your hat." And I was like, oh my God, a real life person, not an actual person.
A real life person
has actually bought my hat. And so that was my first ever hat sale. And then I got this check from Phoenix of Bond Street.
Oh my God.
And so that was very special.
Oh my God.
Did you frame it?
No, I think it's
cashed it in. I needed it
somewhere and all the admin I've got to do. But no, it's that was really special.
Perfect. So you're married?
I am. Yeah, 10 years next month.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm coming off my 10th next year actually.
It goes quickly.
It does go really quick.
We've been together
really
10 years,
slowly
but it's hard work.
having children, isn't it? You're like, you know, it goes so quickly and so slowly at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it they say that the days are long but the years are short?
Oh, good.
Ooh.
That's one of like my favourite mum
Profound.
quotes I've heard. Because it is. The days do feel really long, but then you blink and then they're another year older.
How did you meet?
We met travelling.
Okay. Which travelling? Because you did 3 gap years.
Yes, on gap year number 3.
Right, okay.
I was going to say.
There was going to be a
The
4th,
last
but you got locked in.
Well, he was going to be a diving instructor in Thailand, but ended up coming back.
So where did you meet?
Be with me. We met in Thailand. So we did a tour of Southeast Asia with a company called Intrepid, and he was in my tour group.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we met in Bangkok, and then we travelled through Cambodia, and then we first kissed on the train between Cambodia and Vietnam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you go travelling on your own or were you with someone?
I was with my friend Nicola, and we went all around the world really. So we did our tour of Southeast Asia, and then he stayed in Thailand for a bit, and I ended up going off to India. But he is from Surrey and I'm from Hampshire, so
That's
I
mad,
could have met
isn't
an
it?
Australian or something.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah.
My mum's like, damn.
But yeah, he's from down the road, so
Oh, fantastic.
How mad is that? And then you meet
Perfect.
there.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's bizarre.
First date when you got home?
Oh. I
I was having squirming here.
yeah.
Right, come on then.
Had he taken me there as a first date, if I didn't already know him,
Right.
I'm not sure I would have stayed.
Right.
He took me to the Hungry Horse in Bagshot.
I live in Bagshot and I know it! Oh my god!
She owns it.
I take the kids there!
Her parents run it.
It's still
The one that's in Bagshot Village.
Yeah, on the right hand side.
When I say
Still
that
bad.
it's literally like not even 5 minutes from my house. Wow.
Yeah.
I've got to be
When I had a Diet Coke in the garden.
Why did you take it? Is that where he lives?
His parents live in Bagshot, yeah.
Oh my god, you'll have to tell me what roads in a
I'm in
minute.
Chobham, so I'm down the road, so I probably know them as well.
Oh, closer. Bloody hell. Couldn't get any closer than that. Oh god, there's so many. Like, you've got a lovely little pub in Windlesham that's down the road. Like,
He wouldn't think.
The Hungry Horse.
Like, if we had met outside of where we actually met, we would never be together. He is not a texter. I'm not sure dating would have been his style.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's lucky that we met when we did.
What was your engagement?
Oh, it was awful.
Was that the Hungry Horse Part 2? Third date?
went to the kebab opposite.
Is that still there? Yeah. Oh, God.
I'd been waiting for him to propose.
How long were you together?
forever. Oh, like 5 years or
Okay.
something. And
Well, he's not texter, so.
Yeah. And we went for a week away, and I think we did one night in a beautiful hotel in England, which would have been the perfect place to propose. No. And then we went to Porto for 3 nights in Portugal. Lovely city break. There's like beautiful, like coloured houses and everything. Lovely river. And he walked around the whole thing with a ring in his pocket. And then I think it was the last night, I just got fed up with the fact, because I thought he might propose on the trip. I got fed up. I had a new iPad. It was when the iPads had first come out. And I sat on Pinterest all night, not talking to him, planning my wedding. And I was so fed up with him. And then the next morning, we were going on a cable car over the river, and I thought, oh, for God's sake, let's just get this out of the way, and we'll get on the train back to the airport. And he got down on one knee in the friggin' cable car. And it was the only time in like 5 years I looked at him and I was like, I am so pissed off with you now. I don't want to say yes.
But I bet.
And then this is the end of the trip. And so we then went back to the hotel, got our bags, got on a Ryanair flight.
Was he nervous though? Was he going to do it another time?
Really
yeah,
nervous.
they do get nervous.
But we didn't have a glass of champagne for 9 hours. And then got to Victoria. We got the coach because we were trying to save money. Got the coach from Heathrow to Victoria because we were going to a friend's party. And I then left my bag on the coach by accident. So we were then like running. And it was the worst day ever. And then we were going to a friend's party. And on the way to the party, I gave the ring back. I said, should we just pretend this didn't happen? And luckily...
What did he say?
He agreed. It was awful. And then luckily my friend lives in this most beautiful apartment overlooking the whole of London. You've got Buckingham Palace there, you've got
my God.
London Eye. And we were getting, he was getting changed. I couldn't get changed from the horrible Ryanair flight because I had no bag. So we were waiting for him to get changed. And I said, you can propose again now if you like. So he did.
Lights, camera, action.
And so, but then we had quite a long engagement, and every single time there was a sunset, there was a holiday, there was an opportunity, I made him get down on one knee because I was like, that proposal was not good enough, you're going to have to do this again.
Oh,
so, yeah.
How long was your engagement?
Oh, like 18 months, not 6 years.
Yeah. 7.
7
this
you're
year.
on 7 now.
7 this year.
Oh,
Yes. And I work in a bridal shop. Shocking.
We need to look at your hats.
We need to look at
So I'm dying to see what's in your
so
hat box.
excited.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got all kinds of things.
Oh my
really.
God. Now, can you tell us how to wear hats? Because it's a big thing. We have
Don't
hats.
you choose your favourite side, or is there a certain side it's got?
So there's 2 schools of thought. I personally go with the side of your parting. If you have a parting.
Okay.
And traditionally, you're meant to wear hats on the left.
Why?
I don't actually know, but it's just a left thing.
Okay.
But then Stephen Jones, who is a very famous milliner, he says they should be worn on the right because women are always right. So,
Well,
yeah.
I like him.
But I always go on the left. But I think it just,
Yeah.
some people suit hats one way, some people suit them another way.
Yeah, I think I have mine. Yeah, left.
Yeah, I'd normally
Alright.
design them for left.
Yeah.
Unless people want them a different way. But I make most of my hats to order, so
Fine.
people will try them on and see
So
what
do
they
you
like.
have a consultation with them first, or?
About half really. So during ASCOT, people tend to just go on the website and purchase things. I did actually sell my most expensive hat on my whole website last week from someone I didn't contact me or anything, just click. Yeah. I was running the bath for the children and my phone just went ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
Yeah, that's the sound from my Shopify. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to sale. Like, wow. But yeah, so some people will just buy it blind, but most of the time people come to the studio, try the hats on. It's a little bit like pick and mix. So
because again, it's a pun, but not all hats suit all people.
And sometimes
I look like ET with a hat on.
Oh well, we'll see.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go on my corner.
But yeah, so different flowers, different feathers, different bases, and and I've got loads of different colours.
Is it important to send you a colour swatch of their dress, maybe? Or...
If people are doing it from a distance, I
want that one.
I get pictures of the dresses on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Someone actually sent me a picture of the dress next to a paint colour chart the other day.
Fine.
Which was good. She was an interior designer.
Good, there you go. Yeah.
So.
And will you help people just decide on what style of hat to wear?
Yes.
What suits
absolutely.
them? Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people will ask, does a certain hat suit a certain face shape or a certain type of hair? I will always go on it's how it makes you feel.
I feel that you're looking at both of us now going, which hat should I put on which person?
Well, I'm thinking because of my hair colour. I feel like the pink might clash. Look at that.
I love that. And how long would something like that make? How long does that take?
This one, I actually had to make 350 of these for the Chelsea Flower Show last year, and I had I had 3 weeks.
What for?
You had 3 weeks to make 350.
Yes, I roped in a couple of the school mums.
Yeah,
love that. See,
trained them
handy,
up.
School mums.
Gin.
Lots of gin. But yeah, they all differ quite a lot in terms of making. So the one that I made last week probably took me, the one that lady bought, probably 3 days to make.
Right.
But then something like that would probably take me an hour and a half. 2 hours maybe. So
I think if you're experienced as well.
Yeah, well that's
I bet you could do that in your sleep.
I can make these quite short.
After 350.
So bloody many of them. But yeah, they all vary. I made the flower crowns and stuff as well.
Are these quite nice for bridesmaids? These look real. Are they? It's not
no,
real.
they're not real.
Blimey.
And so yeah, they're kind of a new bridesmaid range. I haven't even got these on my website. I've just been playing around with styles, but I'm gonna do a few smaller ones as well.
Yeah.
That is quite big but I think maybe for like a teenage bridesmaid or something.
Yeah.
And then we do flower crowns like this as well.
Oh, that's
my
lovely.
dress.
So they're just so easy to wear and so fun.
Yeah.
I think
it matches.
I think you can wear that doing the hoovering.
Yes.
Yes.
Matches
I'll do the school run in that and just be like,
Yeah,
morning.
Sometimes I forget I'm wearing these things. So
We
you
do- we
go
do
and
it.
put the bins out. And
I've
people are like,
in the shop window we've got mannequins, and when I've undressed them and redressed them and changed, we used to put headdresses on them.
Yeah.
And I go off to the bank and walk up the high street, and I've still got the massive big tiara in my hair. You know, people just look at me. You know.
Yeah. Fabulous tiara.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, there's all kinds of different.
Which one would you put on Lauren, and which one would you put on me? You're getting a bag. It's not a bigger bag for me.
Yeah. I think try the ones you're holding now.
Oh, okay.
Right, so am I going for the right side?
Yeah. So just forget it's a hat. Just wear it like a hairband.
Super comfy.
Hang on, have I got mine on right?
Oh, you're a hat girl, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Looks good.
So that's the reaction I get all the time. I can't.
Well, this one's got some weight. I like this.
I can't wear hats.
I can't take your face seriously.
Thanks.
That is really cute.
Yeah, that one. I think you should wear this one. Oh, hang on, maybe.
Wear
try
a
this
grown-up one.
They feel like real flowers.
cool.
If you ever want a hat elastic, familiar with them.
Go behind.
Yes, it goes
Under your hair.
underneath.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then,
You should
like,
have told
when-
her that. I wanted her to like wear it like a.
Yours might be on backwards. Try it. I can't see properly. I have to come and do it for you.
No, that is it. Sort her out.
Hang on, can you read the? If
Oh
you
my
read
God,
the label,
yeah.
if it's upside down.
Read the
oh
label.
no, you did have it the right way.
I did have it the right way.
So this.
Well,
just
we'll
goes
just carry
under your
on.
hair, and I won't fiddle with your hair too
Oh,
much
honestly,
right
don't
now,
worry
but,
about the hair.
Yeah, so when you do it properly, you shouldn't see.
Oh, it's like my hairnet at
shouldn't
night.
see the elastic.
Your hairnet.
Do you actually
Hang on,
wear
I'm
hairnet? Let go of it.
It won't be long though.
Like that.
Oh, it sneezed.
Oh, I felt that. Spat on my face, on my neck.
Got your elastic.
Yeah, love that.
This is
And
really
then-
nice.
Oh, dear.
And your one.
Oh,
We bumped hats. Oh my god!
oh.
Yuki,
Take a selfie.
I'll take one of you. That looks
Oh no,
really
we're still
nice.
filming.
I forgot. That's it. That feels better.
Yeah.
That is so
That-
cool.
Isn't that cool?
You look really like.
Oh,
regal.
can we keep them on for the rest of the
Of course
interview?
you can. I
So-
thought this one might go with my lipstick.
Oh yes, you have
It
one
does.
too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is actually one I made
Should we
for
put one on
Mother
the
of the
on the
Bride.
boss while he's filming us?
Yeah.
Yeah. the little pretty
Oh
one.
no, let's put this one on him. Look.
Oh, you look cute.
Yeah, I had a Mother of the Bride last week, and she was
Oh my god,
wearing.
you look freaking amazing.
It's so cool.
She was wearing pink dress, orange bag, and so I made her one of these. I actually just made 3 because I just wanted her to pick the right one.
Yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, just made
Oh
3
my
of these
God.
on Saturday.
Perfect.
So
So
cool.
we have to talk about your brother,
Yeah.
because he's quite a famous brother.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So your
You're
brother,
just like, he's just my brother. She's just normal.
So your brother is Ollie Locke from Made in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Is he older or younger?
No, he's 2 years younger than me.
Is he 2 years younger? Are you the
Yeah,
bossy older
big
sister?
Yeah.
So how was that growing up with when he went on Made in Chelsea? How was that for you guys?
Well, he's always wanted to be an actor.
Yeah,
So
I've read all his books, by the way.
he
I'm a massive fan.
Lady
yeah.
in Chelsea.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, have you read his children's books as
yes,
well?
yes.
Yeah, so
Very talented.
his
I didn't know
Islands
there
of
was children.
Children's
Oh, yeah,
book. He's
there's-
fantastic.
Yeah, there's one that came out last year, and then another series that came out a few years before that. But the Islands of Fandai, Queen Amelia gets announced, and I was like, yes. I'm
Oh
in the
my
book.
god, I bet that was
He
great.
kills her within a paragraph. Livid.
Well, I mean, you
He's
know.
like, but she was the queen. Queen. I was like, yeah, but she died.
Yeah,
Killed
is this his childhood coming out? All the things that he wanted to do with you, you know.
But it was dedicated to my son.
Yeah.
And so that was a good one. And then his second book he was going to dedicate to my daughter, and I was like, you can't do that, not also dedicate it to my son, because then they're going to be fighting about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's quite sweet they've got dedication.
Yeah, well, you're an auntie now, aren't you?
I am,
you know.
yeah.
How was that journey?
It's been a ride, I think. Yeah.
Is it difficult watching, you know, somebody going through that you love dearly in the public eye? Because they were very public about it, which was fantastic, and I think.
Yeah, but I think because I didn't watch Made in Chelsea.
Not one of them.
No, I used to. So when he was first in it, I watched the first 5.
It's all right. She doesn't watch the shows.
No,
My brother wouldn't watch Made in Chelsea either.
No,
really?
I have not watched Made in Chelsea for years, but I watched it back in the day, like with Louise,
Pick it
Sam,
up.
Dinky, Chester,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't really tell you now.
Yes,
who's-
they've
yeah.
all
I
changed
still watch
a lot.
It's still very good. Yeah.
So I watched the first 5 series that he was in, but then he left.
Yeah.
And so I stopped watching
I think
it.
that's when I stopped watching it.
Yeah, and then I never started again. So I think they were quite honest and quite raw with what was going on the show, but in real life, you know, we know the day to day, and so it doesn't quite, you don't get the same
impact.
Yeah, so I think I've missed quite a lot of it because I haven't watched the show.
Yeah.
And so yeah, in real time we experienced it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the highs and lows of their inner thoughts and emotions, I've skipped past all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think also, you know, though you know your family, you don't talk about those things, but when you're being filmed, it does tend to all come out, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah. So we'd know.
They went through hell.
Yeah, we knew what was going on and when. And we'd get the phone calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I think it's fantastic that they did go public with it, because so many people out there are struggling.
Yeah.
You know, we have the girls in the shop, don't we? You know.
It's just like there's just so many. Like my best friend's been through it for years, and it's just not spoken about. But
no.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, same-sex couples as well. You know, it's hard. You know.
Yeah. But now their parents, are you like, welcome to the lack of sleep?
Yeah.
Are you like, your turn?
It's twins as well, isn't it?
Yeah. They're very much coming into the world that I've been in for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, the babies were born when they were 29 weeks gestation.
Wow.
And so that was a bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
And they were born up north, which wasn't meant to happen.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
The surrogate lived in Durham.
Right, okay.
So the boys didn't even make it for the birth. They were on the train.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then, she was £2.10 and he was £3.11.
Oh.
So,
bags of sugar.
yeah, my mum and I met them when they were about 3 weeks old. When they were back down in London, and they were just the most tiny. We couldn't even touch them. Like they were just in their tanks, and like the size of the nappies. Even the nappies are like this big, but on the baby they're
It's
like
crazy,
this
isn't
big.
it?
Yeah. It was crazy. So it was very it was just a bit of a scary time. But you'd never know now.
Yeah, they're bouncies.
I was FaceTiming with them yesterday, and like one of them's chewing the other one's foot and like hitting each other in the face, and like they're just they're hilarious.
How is it seeing your baby brother with babies?
It's a funny one. I don't know. It's almost like he's never not had babies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite nice to see them going through the stuff that was just completely alien to them.
I think
entertaining.
I think even if you're prepared for parenthood,
You're never prepared.
It's such a shock, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I remember I was sitting Matt there, and it's before the internet was out, you know, and I sat there and he was in his little rocker, and I had the mother care book, and he was doing something, and I went, right, what page is that on? Literally, he grew up by a manual, because I didn't have a clue. I never touched a baby in my life, never held one, you know, and
I'll just remember the first night we were at home, and she kept crying and crying and crying. Now I look back, I'm just like, she was just hungry because I was trying to breastfeed. I was thinking, well, she's just had milk, so she can't be hungry. But she obviously was, because I obviously didn't have enough, or she wasn't getting enough. Anyway, so I passed her to John. And John's eyes are like hanging out of his head. And he's just like, this is intense, Laura. And he was like,
the poor plumber.
He was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I was like, John, there's teenagers that have babies. And he was like, that's exactly why they've got more energy. He was like, I'm 32, I'm too tired. I was like, for God's sake. He was like, shall we ring the helpline? You know, they give you like a little number. We rang the helpline. We're like, she won't stop crying. And now I look back and I'm just like,
God, we didn't have any of that.
Do you? Like, it's...
You just don't, because you know, you kind of go through the list. You're like, right, nappy's dry, just been fed, all of this, no wind. And you're like, what else could there be?
That was just John.
That was just John, honestly.
So we have a game that matches your hat.
Excellent.
So
Love
play.
this.
Come on, I'm going to bring it on.
I just think these
Man in the corner was frantically waving at me. We've gone way over time. Right, give it a spin. Oh God, let's hope. Oh no, we've had that.
Well, we know you've been in Backshot.
No, she kissed on a train in Cambodia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
spin it again.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's
we had that earlier.
Right.
I don't like that one.
Spin it again. You're laughing. I'm not putting it on that one.
Spin it again.
No, spin it again. It lands on the same one twice normally.
Oh my God, I think you're going to... That's it.
So we'll get Sarah in here. She'll give it a good old wag.
Floor
what's your floor filler?
As in song?
What do you think would
wedding.
get everyone on the... Like, what's your go-to song where you're like, I'm on that floor?
You know, you're in the toilet and your song comes on.
And
You're
you
like,
walk out.
I've got to get out. Nick us up.
Oh God, I actually don't know the answer to that.
Do you not?
We have like little kitchen discos at home.
Well, actually, because I knew about you, and then I clicked on your page, and there you are dancing with Ollie, with a beverage in your hand.
Oh, I love
Well,
time.
you were dancing on your own, and then suddenly he comes in. And I went, I know him. So kitchen disco.
That's had like 450,000 views.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It was brilliant.
Many people.
Your dress was really nice, by the way.
Thanks.
What do you put on in the kitchen?
So we like the Trolls soundtrack. So they've got a lot of.
I know them all.
That.
Oh,
there's a lot of Justin Timberlake.
Oh, okay.
And, like stuff like that.
Oh, it's so good. But they
so
use
this Trolls
older
the movie?
songs.
Trolls the movie.
Yes, okay.
Oh,
And
but
then-
you know, the Brozone one. If you listen to that, the new Trolls.
Oh no, I haven't seen the new Trolls.
Oh my goodness.
I've only seen the first one because you have to pay for the other ones.
Oh no, we went to the cinema to see him, and my dad was like fascinated that she knew all these songs. Oh, she was like be in the back, and she's like Candy Girl, like that, and then she'll start singing NSYNC. Honestly,
So good.
As a '90s baby, it was like watching. Oh, it's brilliant.
So what would be your song to put on?
So in our kitchen discos we do a bit of Moana.
Okay.
Moana.
Yeah. Have you seen Moana?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Love Moana. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of Sophie Ellis Bextor because we
I was
listen
going
to
to say,
our
I could
kitchen
imagine.
discos.
Yeah, well that's the go-to,
Lockdown.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I pretty much dance to anything.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about your lead times, haven't we? Any wedding disasters?
Lead times. We haven't talked about.
Have we not?
No.
No, haven't.
No. Oh, you talked about.
Well,
your
we
hat.
know how quick she can.
Yeah, exactly.
knock them out.
Yeah, blimey.
But lead times, I normally like people to come to me about 6 weeks before. But
Right.
I've had mothers of the bride come to me. So it was a lady came on a Thursday evening, and the wedding was on the Saturday. Massive hat, all custom coloured, matching the outfit,
Goodness.
and I did it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Do you carry materials then?
I carry too many materials.
Okay.
I should definitely.
This is what your husband told you this morning.
It's what my accountant told me. I'm like, when it comes for shopping for me, I'm like quite frugal. But the business, however, like nice feather.
Yeah. Where do you get your supplies from?
So a lot of my supplies are from Luton.
Right.
So Luton is the hat capital of the world.
Yeah. But do you collect things as you travel? Because you're a traveller as well, aren't you? So
I was a traveller before children.
yeah.
Good old days.
I'm a traveller in my head. But yeah, I mean, I'm always on the lookout for inspiration and stuff like that.
I love a peacock feather or something like that in a hat. I think that's so cool. You got any pearl hats? Do you do any hats with pearls on?
I do actually.
Yeah, she loves pearls.
Yeah, and I do some bridal pieces and things as well. So a lot of those have got pearls on.
Headband things.
Pearls and crystals.
Oh,
yeah,
that's very exciting.
If you didn't do this job, what would you do?
So I actually have got another job as well. So I do marketing and PR and social media.
Wow.
Yeah. So hats are only busy in the summer.
Right.
So throughout the year, I
suppose the races and stuff like that. It's not just weddings, is it? You know.
Yeah. So during Royal Ascot, I don't sleep. I literally am on the go constantly, just making.
Well, it's like florists, you know, they've got Mother's Day and they've got Valentine's right afterwards. Yeah. And obviously weddings, people do get married throughout the year, but the hats tend to be a summer thing. Yeah.
And so say like in December, I have no hat work.
Right, so you're back up.
So I do social media for a couple of businesses, and then I work for another company that I've worked for about 8 years now, writing newsletters and doing a bit of PR and that kind of stuff.
That's a busy girl.
Yeah.
Did you make any of the hats for Ollie's wedding?
Yes, I made my hat and my mum's hat.
Oh,
but there were only 12 guests or something.
Yeah, that was quick wedding, wasn't it?
Yes.
I remember watching it and going, they didn't know when they were going to get married, and then they suddenly they had the green light to do it.
Yeah, we had 4 days notice.
No.
Because it was scheduled for mid-November, and then Boris on the Saturday night, it was probably about a month away from the wedding, Boris announced lockdown 2. And so on the Saturday night, Oliver was like, well, this is it, you know, we're not getting married. And then on the Monday morning, I got a call saying, what are you doing on Wednesday? And I was like, I'm actually coming to see you, because the lockdown was midnight on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
and nobody knew how long we were going to be in lockdown.
I'm coming to see you with Mum, because we don't know when we're going to see you. And he said, oh, good, because we're getting married. And so they pulled the whole thing off in it was 3 days.
So it's the Natural History Museum.
Natural History Museum. So
how did they get that then?
So that was already arranged.
Oh, okay.
And like they were filming Made in Chelsea there and everything. But the one thing that they were waiting for when they were trying to pull everything together at the last minute was the Natural History Museum had set their timer to turn all the electrics, all the heating off, everything on 6 o'clock that night when the museum shut, and they couldn't work out how to unset it.
Is that why you had all the candles?
I managed to unset it in the end, but everyone was holding their breath. Can we do this wedding? Because the Natural History Museum couldn't work out how to turn the lights on.
Oh my god!
And no matter how much you plan a wedding, things are always gonna, throw curveballs.
Yeah. So my wedding crash diet was 3 days, and I'd had a baby 6 months before that. There's a seamstress in Southampton who we know through the local bridal shop, actually, and she managed to take my dress up within 24 hours notice.
Well done.
And so I just went up to London and got it done. Didn't have a glass of champagne or anything, didn't celebrate afterwards. We literally stopped filming, said goodbye, and didn't see them till Easter.
How hard was that?
It was, the thing is, you always look forward your whole life to, like your siblings' wedding and, having a party, and we had, we had all these things that were planned, and we didn't get to do anything. Like, the next time I saw the two of them, was at a distance in the garden, the next Easter. So, it was a bit of an anticlimax.
Would they do like a part 2, do you think?
I'm thinking a renewal.
They keep talking about it, and then a bit of a christening,
children now,
and
isn't
stuff
there?
Like that, christening and wedding vows, but I don't know if they ever will. I don't know.
Did Mum let you go wild with the hat choice, or were you given instructions on?
She's there. You be careful.
No, I'm just asking.
No, so we'd done a consultation, so I kind of had
a consultation with Mum.
Yeah, had
Did
her
she
in
book
as a
in?
client.
Yeah.
Did you charge her?
I did not charge her, but the thing is that I hadn't started my hat or Mum's hat. I had the materials, but I hadn't started.
Did you have something in mind that you were going to do?
Yeah, so I knew what I was doing, but I then on that Monday night was manically trying to make Mum's hat, and then the night before the wedding, I remember being in my downstairs loo because it's so cold in my studio.
Are we going back to
in
taxi
November.
again? Last minute, really?
Yeah, I am last minute. Yeah, I just remember being in the downstairs loo, like looking at my hat in the mirror, like again, just manically trying to sew things and get it right. And like the hat that I made for myself, I'd never made anything in that style before.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was a bit of a tight deadline, but we did it.
You did it.
Because also Hello Magazine were covering it, so not only was
Oh
it
my
going
God, no pressure.
yeah, going to be on TV
Yeah.
and in Hello Magazine. You
Yeah.
thought, oh my God.
God's sake, Ollie.
Did your hats get a mention?
Oh yeah. I made sure they did.
Well, PR and marketing, eh?
I think I need to put it on my website, like the product as seen in.
Yeah, definitely.
On my to-do list.
My sister-in-law would love these.
I've got a little present for you.
Oh, thank you.
So I asked you what your favourite tipple was.
This is exciting.
What are you looking at? I made it.
I've got one. What do you mean? You
What
made
did you
what?
make? Is it
Oh, don't eat or
vodka
drink.
or something?
Oh, right, okay.
For your copy. So you can
I
pretend
love
while
that.
you're drinking this little thing in here
Amazing. Oh,
for you.
wow.
We won't show the label.
Thank you very much. Thank you so
You're
much.
so welcome.
That's really kind of you.
So when you're dancing in the kitchen with Ollie again, you can drink that in your
yes.
mug, so nobody will know that you're drinking
We're
alcohol.
going to be doing that next weekend, actually.
You should do one. Honestly, it had me in fits of giggles, you know, because you were on your own at first.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, who's that random
Trying to
man?
encourage him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
thank you so much
Have you had a
for
good
having me.
time?
Oh, amazing.
Can you do us a huge favour?
Yeah.
Can you ask everybody to subscribe to our channels?
Yes, subscribe on YouTube and on wherever you get
Spotify,
your
wherever.
podcasts.
That's the one.
Yes,
Well done.
anywhere, guys.
Come every week. Oh my God.
Subscribe to the Wedding Mayhem podcast on wherever you get your podcasts and also on YouTube.
Yeah!
Bye,
Come
Pat.
every week.
Oh, thank you
were
so much.
fantastic. Well done. Well done. Well, we didn't say goodbye. Bye.
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 Pointed to that word. Sorry. See, I don't